Okay, we asked you, that's right, you, why Epcot is the best Disney World park right now, and you came in clutch. Turns out Epcot is a lot more than Walcott and construction updates, so let's explore Disney World's #1 park according to you here on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Walt Disney originally created Epcot to be more than a theme park. Epcot was, and still stands for, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, which was blueprinted to be a utopian, self-sufficient city. But after Walt's passing in 1966, the ideas for Epcot reshaped and morphed into what it is today, which, hey, probably worked out better for us in the long run since you don't have to live at Epcot to experience it fully. Although I do know some people who would rather live at Epcot. Since its opening in 1982, Epcot has been showing us all the ways to experience travel, whether it be through different countries, through space, through time, through land and sea, communication, etc. So let's see how this community of tomorrow has made its biggest and best impact on all of us. First, you said that the crowds feel more spread out here. Disney's Animal Kingdom is technically the biggest park, maxing out at 580 acres. A lot of that space is dedicated to the animals, though, to make sure they got plenty of wiggle room to explore and facilities to keep them comfy. But Epcot is the second biggest park, with 300 acres dedicated to guest exploration. This extra space, as compared to Magic Kingdom's 107 acres and Disney's Hollywood Studios' 135 acres, gives guests more opportunity to spread out instead of feeling constantly on top of each other, as many of you put it. Amber J said, "We like it being quiet and peaceful. Disney is such a busy place. It's nice to have a park that's more relaxing." Does that mean Epcot isn't busy? Oh no, Epcot is still packed daily with thousands of guests. But if one section of Epcot is a little too crowded for you, there's more than likely going to be somewhere not shoulder to shoulder with guests a bit further into the park. Kristen C mentioned that there aren't really any bottlenecked areas, so it feels like Epcot has a better control over their crowd capacity. But that being said, there's a huge ride opening happening soon, so that's going to spike the crowd levels in at least one section of the park, and many of you are hyped out of your minds for it to finally debut. Yep, #2 on our list, this is the first Disney World park to introduce a Marvel ride. Anaheim, California has already included the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Disney California Adventure with its expansion of Avengers Campus. But Disney World in Orlando, Florida has been on a really thin tightrope when it comes to adding our favorite superheroes to the parks, which has a lot to do with Marvel's continued ties with Universal Studios' Islands of Adventure, which is a whole other conversation for a different day. But long story short, Disney is legally not allowed to use characters that are represented at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Orlando at all east of the Mississippi. Yeah, it's a thing. But Disney World has finally added some MCU love to their parks, and the first ever Marvel Disney World ride is going to open up in Epcot. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is opening to the public and World Discovery on May 27th. So what's the story behind this ride, and how is it possibly going to fit into Epcot? Well, turns out Cosmic Rewind is going to be its own pavilion called the Wonders of Xandar. Yep, it's like a World Showcase pavilion. This one will showcase the planet Xandar, where key storylines from the Guardians of the Galaxy films take place. There's a lot going on with the main story here, but in a nutshell, your job is to join forces with the unlikely Guardians of the Galaxy heroes to help save, well, the entire galaxy. No biggie, right? This is a family-friendly enclosed coaster that not only features a reverse launch, but also ride vehicles that rotate 360 degrees to give you a full look at the intergalactic action-packed story playing out around you. Oh, and that soundtrack, it's gonna get you pumped. Now, who remembers when we had the earlier Guardians of the Galaxy situation in Epcot over there on the America Gardens Theater stage? Raise your hand if you do, let me know in the comments. There are some of you who have a lot riding on this coaster's debut. Melissa V said that although Epcot isn't their favorite park right now, that could change once Guardians opens. That's the game changer, she says. Okay, #3 on our list, reasons why you think Epcot is the best Disney World park right now. It feels like two parks in one. Yep, Epcot is split into 4 main sections known as neighborhoods: World Discovery, World Nature, World Celebration, and World Showcase. Now, in a sense, World Discovery, World Celebration, and World Nature blend together pretty well because they used to just be Future World. They've got their theme sections, their rides, their places to stop for a quick snack or bite. But then you've got World Showcase, and it's like, bam, all your world traveling dreams come true. World Showcase is made up of 11 different pavilions, each literally showcasing a different country from around the globe. You have margaritas in Mexico, walk under a waterfall in Canada, wave to Mary Poppins in the UK, and shop for your favorite overseas pop culture items in Japan. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. Matthew W. said that the World Showcase might have a crazy festival atmosphere, which we'll talk about in just a sec, but there are still plenty of places to find peace and stillness. Peace and stillness, that sounds nice. Many of you pointed out on Facebook that World Showcase alone is why Epcot is the best of the Disney World parks. I mean, how often do you get to explore 11 different cultures through their architecture, music, cuisines, shopping, and history without having to take a zillion different flights to get to each? You can do it all in one day. I think Andrew J. said it best when they told us why Epcot is their favorite park. The rides and countries are educational and multifaceted. It's forward-thinking and innovative instead of just entertainment. Plus, no matter how many times you've been before, there's always something new to discover when you're wandering around the showcase. How many of you know that there's actually an art gallery in Morocco, right? Right. Okay, next on our list, there are way more places to shop, especially around World Showcase. So some of you clearly are the shoppers in your family, and you contributed heavily to our survey. So while you're making your way around World Showcase, you're going to find lots of little side shops that sell not only Disney World merchandise, but merchandise that reflects the corresponding country. This is what's really cool about this. You can find unique buys here that you're not going to find anywhere else in Orlando, nowhere else in Florida, maybe nowhere else in the United States. One of our favorite shops is the Mitsukoshi department store in the Japan Pavilion, which sells Japanese candies, traditional attire, and pop culture characters featured in well-loved video games, movies, and animation. Funny story, in my former life, when I was a fundraiser in New York City, I actually went to the Four Seasons for lunch one day with a donor wearing a suit jacket that I bought at Mitsukoshi department store in Disney World. I actually had several people ask me where I got it because they really liked it. And I was like, I got it in Disney World. And they were like, that's weird. But there's lots of cool stuff in that department store. And as you know, Mitsukoshi is a department store in Japan. This is just sort of an outlying shop that they run as well. You've also got the Canada Trading Post featuring those maple leaf trinkets, footy pajamas, and moose merch aplenty. By the way, if you've never had maple sugar, go get some there. Have some maple sugar. It's pretty good. You guys know I grew up near Buffalo, right? So that's basically Canada. And let's not forget Plaza de los Amigos, which has hand-painted candy skulls, macabre shadow boxes, and Mexican chocolate bars, along with a lot of other marketplace goodies. And that's only a few of the many shops you can explore here that sell completely unique merch from any other place on Disney World property, and a lot of them, like I said, any place in America. Tammy W. told us they always spend 2 days at Epcot no matter when they go, because one day is totally devoted to the food and shopping around World Showcase, and the other day is devoted toward food and shopping everywhere else. If you're just looking for some more traditional Disney-themed merchandise, of course, they got that for you too. Many of the shops around the park, including the flagship location Creation Shop, is going to furnish that stuff for you. And you know what's not too terribly far away from the Creation Shop? That's right, free soda. Just around the corner from the Creation Shop is a little area called Club Cool, where all the cool cats and kittens hang around. Technically, if you're not a cool cat, you can still go in since you bought tickets to the park and all, and this may come as a relief for some of you. Anyway, Club Cool offers samples of multiple soda pops that you can find around the world. This is run by Coca-Cola, and so all of these are Coke products around the world. The samples are free once you've paid your way into the park, of course. So if you don't like a certain drink, no harm, no foul. You didn't waste your money ordering it. And if you enjoyed a certain drink, awesome. You may want to come back around later for a second round. Just don't be one of those people and take shot after shot of the soda. We want to keep things nice around here, you know? Don't be like my 8-year-old son who literally tried to fill up his water bottle with Bebo. But before you leave, it's only fair you try a big old gulp of the Italian aperitif, the Beverly. It's an infamous bitter drink that I think tastes like earwax, but many see it as a rite of passage as an Epcot visitor. And there are some that actually love this stuff. Maybe you are just much more sophisticated than I am. That's probably true across the board. And if you're one of those people, let me know in the comments because we want to find you and learn from you. Want to know what soda rankings are for the Club Cool drinks? Well, I'll link our ultimate list in the description, but fair warning, some flavors may not be available during your visit. By the way, if you find a drink that you really, really like here, head over to the Coca-Cola store in Disney Springs because you can actually go buy larger versions if you want more. Okay, another reason that Epcot is the best Disney World park right now, the Cultural Representative Program is coming back. Yep, one of the coolest parts of the World Showcase has always been what's called the Cultural Representative Program. And that's a super weird term, but it basically just means people from all around the world get recruited to come work at Epcot and actually represent the country that they're working in, which is so awesome. When the parks shut down in 2020, the Cultural Representative Program was shut down with it and has been down for the count ever since, until now. Disney announced that the Cultural Representative program is about to return starting this August. So later this summer, when you go into the parks, you will actually be able to talk to cast members that are from those countries: Germany, China, Japan, France. It's going to be so fun. You're really going to enjoy it if you had never gone to Disney World before the 2020 closures and you've never experienced it. It really makes a difference in this park. The program's going to be returning in phases, though. The initial recruitment is Germany, Italy, Norway, UK, France, and Canada. Needless to say, some of you couldn't hold back your excitement on our social, and we totally understand. We're excited to see this program return too. Another reason why Epcot is the best Disney World park right now, according to you, so much food. Okay, so a bunch of you gave a shout out to the Epcot food. Dan W. specifically said, well, this is Disney Food Blog, so of course this could be DFB's favorite park. It's got the best food options after all. And we appreciate that, Dan. You know us well. Can you find standard theme park offerings here? Soft pretzels, burgers, popcorn, yeah. Can you also find dozens of unique offerings that span across different cultures, making you feel less like you're eating theme park food and more like you're enjoying a spread of international eats and sweets that make dining here a huge part of why you visit in the first place? Also, yeah. Epcot has offerings for all types of eaters, from picky to adventurous to somewhere in between. You got your immersive restaurants like Space 220, space food, right? Your date night restaurants like Le Cellier, Steakhouse, your comfort food restaurants like Rose and Crown Pub, your more quick service offerings like Regal Eagle Smokehouse, and so many more offerings. There are even those super fancy schmancy restaurants like Takumite over there in Japan, which hasn't reopened yet, but we can't wait until it does. And you can learn more about all of these on our Ranking Every Epcot Restaurant video if you're wanting to also know our general Epcot restaurant preferences. Then you got all those festival booths to explore, but that's a topic worthy of its own section. So, number 8 on our list is festivals, of course. Epcot is the only Disney World park that features 4 different festivals throughout the year, meaning something new is always on the horizon. Get it? Horizons. Each festival features exclusive food, entertainment, merchandise, and activities. Kicking off the year, you've got Epcot's Festival of the Arts, or we call it FARTS around here, followed by Flower and Garden Festival for the spring, Summer and Fall highlight Food and Wine Festival, and then the year wraps up with Festival of the Holidays. Gonna admit, it was fun reading about your festival opinions, especially in our Instagram stories. Some of you even took the time to explain which festival was your favorite and why. We received votes for Festival of the Arts because of all the visiting artists, the colorful cuisine, and that huge collaborative paint-by-number mural. A lot of you said you always visit around Flower and Garden for the character topiaries, fresh outdoor kitchens, and breathtaking flower gardens. Jean A. told us the blooming flowers are always amazing year after year, and so is the food. There were a handful of food and wine fans out there too who love the different gourmet food and drink offerings and seeing Remy around every corner of the World Showcase, because of course Remy would be the main face of a food festival, right? Ian M. deemed the Food and Wine Fest as snack heaven. Not a bad title for it. And then there were those of you keeping the holly jolly spirit alive and well all year long by preferring Festival of the Holidays above all the others for its seasonal storytellers, candlelight processional, and many cookie options that you can try while completing the holiday cookie stroll. And of course, we're huge fans of the festivals too, although admittedly the entire team is split on which festival is their all-time favorite. Makes for interesting office conversation. Not only are festivals full of a lot of food, but they also rotate out with new menu and booth options to keep us on our toes. That's why we do a Best of the Fest YouTube video each time a festival starts up for the year. Gotta keep our lists fresh, you know? There are a lot of things to do in each of these festivals and only so much time to do it all. That's why we dedicate entire guidebooks to making sure you can do everything you want to do without blowing your budget in the process. Head over to dfbstore.com to purchase the latest and greatest festival guides, as well as pre-order guides for upcoming festivals. These digital guides are jam-packed with hundreds of pages of insider tips, planning strategies, and food reviews to get you hyped and prepped for the festival you're going to be visiting soon. We have one for Food and Wine, Flower and Garden, and Festival of the Holidays. Just type in code YouTube for a discount on your overall purchase. Again, head to dfbstore.com. Okay, number 9 on our list of why Epcot is the best Disney World park right now, according to you, is Spaceship Earth is the best beacon of magic. Now, this comment kind of goes hand in hand with the festival's point, and here's why. At the kickoff of Disney World's 50th anniversary celebration, aka October 1st, 2021, the 4 park icons received nighttime makeovers. Once the sun sets, the Tree of Life, Cinderella Castle, the Hollywood Tower Hotel, and Spaceship Earth all transform with dazzling projections that bring these stagnant icons to life with color. And listen, they're all gorgeous, at least in my eyes. I don't want to hurt any of their feelings. But there is merit to the readers who claimed Spaceship Earth is definitely the prettiest girl in school, especially at night. Side note, some of you also simply said you love the big golf ball, and I can respect that. Spaceship Earth's beacon of magic becomes mesmerizing with its swarming and glittering bursts of light. But for the past couple festivals, Spaceship Earth has stepped up its Beacon of Life A game with an additional light show that goes along with the festival's theme and plays every 15 minutes. During Festival of the Arts, we got to hear Kermit and friends sing Rainbow Connection as a sweeping rainbow illuminated Spaceship Earth. And during Flower and Garden Fest, Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas turns into a reality as windswept colors breeze along the surface of our giant golf ball friend. Sorry, other beacons of light, no hard feelings. This is just phenomenal. And some of us think it's also better than any of the fireworks nighttime spectaculars. I'm not going to name names though. Okay, next on our list, speaking of nighttime fireworks spectaculars, you guys are telling us that Harmonious is superior to Disney Enchantment, and that's why Epcot is the best park right now. This is a hot take. Very hot take. In 2021, both Magic Kingdom and Epcot introduced two nighttime spectaculars. Disney Enchantment projects across Cinderella Castle and all the way down Main Street, USA in Magic Kingdom, featuring Disney characters and music and scenes that celebrate the imagination and passion each of us possess, because we are the magic, right? Right, okay. Harmonious takes place on World Showcase Lagoon in the middle of Epcot. Much like Disney Enchantment, the show projects popular Disney characters and music and scenes, but the message is more about how Disney has connected cultures through universal stories. They emphasize this message by performing classic Disney songs in different languages from around the globe. Both shows draw large nightly crowds, but some of you had quite the opinions about which show you vastly prefer. Craig S. noted, both shows replaced long-standing nighttime spectaculars, but Disney Enchantment feels like a downgrade from Happily Ever After, while Harmonious feels like an upgrade from Illumination's Reflections of Earth. I warned you, this is a hot take. Marsha J. added, the effects used in Harmonious are phenomenal. They include pyrotechnics, water techniques, projections, and a fresh musical perspective, but the barges are still ugly. Okay, fair point. Those barges are quite the eyesore on the World Showcase Lagoon during the day, for sure. But that eyesore is also seen as a structure that provides more opportunities to catch a good view of the show. Here's another comment from Ethan E. that I think explains things a little more clearly. When I go to Magic Kingdom, I have to stake out where I'm going to watch the castle show almost an hour before it starts, and even then I feel crowded, claustrophobic, and my line of vision might be blocked by a kid sitting on a parent's shoulders. Harmonious doesn't feel as stressful. There are places you can scout out all the way around the World Showcase for a good view of the show. Sometimes you can even find prime viewing 5 to 10 minutes before the show starts. Want to know where some of those prime Harmonious viewing locations are? We got them for you. I'll link to our post shouting out our favorite places to view the show in the description below. Next on our list of reasons why Epcot is the best Disney World park right now, according to you, it's so much more than its rides. All right, Epcot is the home of several super popular Disney rides like Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Frozen Ever After, and Soarin' Around the World, and of course Test Track. But as some of our readers pointed out, you don't have to ride a single ride here and you can still fill an entire day in the park. Alex L. added, Magic Kingdom and Disney's Hollywood Studios are highly dependent on their rides, whereas Epcot rides enhance the experience but aren't necessary for having a full, fun-filled day. Recently, ride lines for the Disney World parks have been wild. We're talking hour-long to 3-hour-long waits on average. Epcot isn't necessarily immune to this. Sure, it's got its rides with lots shorter lines, but even Remy's sees lines that wrap around the Prance Pavilion and eat away the day, which is why it's nice to have plenty of other things to do in a park that don't require 60-minute plus waits. In fact, Patricia L. told us they'd retire and move into Epcot if it were allowed. They went on to say Epcot has a different energy than the other parks. It's just very chill. Go relax a bit, try new foods, enjoy the weather, and watch Harmonious at the end of the night. You'll thank me. And we do thank you, Patricia. Next on our list, 4 words, drinking around the world. Christopher S. pointed out that you don't have to wait 2+ hours to drink around the world in Epcot. And although I'd counter that and say hopefully it's taking you a little longer to order a drink from 11 countries, I definitely see where you're coming from. Many of you mentioned that Epcot feels like more of an adult park, and part of that reason is because it has the best selection of alcoholic beverages, hence the oh so popular, guest-designed Drinking Around the World Challenge. Crystalline P pointed out that Epcot is the place where parents get to be kids again. Hey, ain't gonna argue with that. The World Showcase has a lot of different mixed drinks, wines, and beers for you to choose from. You can grab margaritas in Mexico, Moscato in Italy, sake in Japan. I'll stop there, otherwise the video will end up being the length of a James Cameron film. But Liz F. wants you to know that the best bar is La Cava del Tequila in the Mexico Pavilion. You know they meant business because they wrote it in all caps. But you don't have to order an alcoholic beverage to be part of the Drinking Around the World Challenge. There are lots of non-alcoholic drinks around the World Showcase too, so anyone can participate in the fun. Another reason you said Epcot is the best Disney World park right now, there's so much more to come. Now that's glass half full. I like that thinking. Epcot has been part of a major transformation lately. We've already seen some of those transformations come to fruition, like the development of the new park fountain, the Creations Shop, Harmonious, and Club Cool remodel, the Space 220 restaurant, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure trackless dark ride, the soon-to-be Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind coaster, that's coming up in just a couple weeks, and several other additions that have been added to the park since the 50th anniversary kickoff. So while we've been battling Walcott for years, it's actually starting to unravel a little bit. And the park's expansions aren't over yet. As Noelle L. put it, Epcot is the perfect example of the phrase, keep moving forward. In World Celebration, we're going to see the Connections Cafe and Eatery quick service open up soon. This will be Starbucks' brand new home that will also serve up unique eats like banh mi burgers and curry spice pizza, and traditional eats like chicken nuggets and pepperoni pizza. In World Nature, we'll someday be able to explore the magical living waters and Moana's Journey of Water immersive experience, but we have yet to hear about an official release date for that one. We're also waiting to hear more about when the Play Pavilion in World Discovery will finally open its doors, allowing guests to travel through innovative opportunities for fun with a high-tech city setting that's mostly for the kids, but I imagine grown-ups will be pretty jazzed by it too. And there's also a lot more to this expansion, so I'll link our post that talks about it more in depth in the description below, and you are stoked to see it finally all play out. But until it does all play out, we'll continue to keep you updated here on all the latest announcements and release dates. And let's not forget, Epcot is celebrating its big 40th anniversary this year on October 1st. We know Disney's going to have some fun things in store for that celebration, so we'll let you know when we learn about all the big birthday party shindigs that'll take place come this fall. I think Missy L summed it up nicely. Epcot's new stuff plus all the timeless classics equals heart emoji, star, heart eyes. So thanks for helping us out with this list, everybody. I'd say this definitely turned out to be a solid mix of Epcot's finest qualities, from its cultural representation to its exquisite food offerings, spacious environment, and promises of more to come. Sadly, nobody talked about the Odyssey Center, which I think is the awesomest building in the world, so I'm just going to add that to the end here. Now, I'm aware not everyone agrees that Epcot is the best park, but don't worry. The other parks are going to get their chances to retaliate soon, and if you want to participate in all the fun and defend your favorite park, make sure you follow our social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We're always at Disney Food Blog. And as Bobby S. said, long live Epcot. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.